Hello, my earthling friends out there. And I hope everybody's doing okay. This video I'm making today has to do about fear and how it is used as a weapon to control us. Okay? I have an apology first to make, and that is something that my good friend Aurora brought to my attention. And that is that a lot of times you'll hear me state right off the bat, oh, I made sure to use protection and all that. And not that there's anything wrong if that makes you feel better, but I didn't want it to sound like I was fear-mongering. Unintentionally, of course. And I had to agree with Aurora. I don't live in that constant state of, I'm in a much better place. Yes, I have had dark entities come around when, especially when I was younger. And yes, I have had the occasional experience even as an adult, and I just simply say, hey, you're not welcome here, right? And that, but I didn't want it to sound like that is, my big thing all the time is, like as if around every corner, when you're, connecting with your guides or especially if you're connecting with your own, your guides and stuff. I mean, that's why we already have those protecting us, on the other side. And that I do make sure to thank them. I thank you, all of you my guardians and that, who are protecting me. So, anyways, there's nothing wrong with, when you want to go into meditation more for calming effect. Hey, I surround myself in the white light of, the divine, great divine, and while I do this meditation, so, but anyways, the reason I'm bringing this up too, it's not just because about that, but I just wanted to start off with that. If you notice everything, it's like you go out to the store or whatever, and everybody's like so on edge in that. And I realized it. I mean, every time you look around, it's on social media, it's the news, it's on all the movies, everything is to incite fear. Okay? You gotta fear about this. You gotta worry about this. Is there no wonder why so many people on the planet are having to go to medications and stuff to calm their nerves? Because every corner that you're around, there is always something to put fear. And you think the big wigs don't know this? Fear can be put there in all sorts of ways. Yes, you have your fear with, the horror movies and all this, and so you have these different movies, and you better put a cross up, and pray, and you better, like that's the only thing that's around us. You know what I mean? And then you have these other kinds of fears where, this such and such person or whatever, and that they're gonna try to take your job, and then you're gonna be in trouble. So you better fear and worry about that. Then there's, you better fear because, look at how much like the storms, they go on and on and on 24/7. Yes, it's okay to be prepared, but like they're really like, like when the hurricanes and stuff come and that, and they're like going on and on about, oh, and and oh my gosh, look at this, and it's, and they'll show like they'll capture these waves or something crashing, and and everybody's just like in panic mode. So it's like 24/7, everything is to make you feel fear. And it's just, it's ridiculous, you know? Religions like to make you fearful, oh, if you do this or you do that, you're going to go and burn in this terrible, the same loving God is going to turn around and just throw you in a pit of fire. Okay, now some of you might not like this video by me stating this, but this is just me and who I am, and this is what I believe. If you don't like it, then you're feel free to leave, but this is just my opinion, okay? But that's what I'm seeing, and it's sad. It's around every corner, and it is used as a control mechanism. If you have people in fear, they are much easier to control. So that's basically one of the things. And the other thing is that we're all taught to feel great guilt, in different ways. They use that because that's another way to make you feel in fear that, if you're not feeling guilty in some way, then you're living the wrong path. You're going down the wrong life and all this. And the thing is like, for instance, you work for one of these big corporations, and they turn around and say company sales or whatever aren't doing so well. And what do they put heat on the managers, and the managers put heat on you, and it's all about, oh, well, this is your fault, and you're going to be out of a job, or you're going to be written up if you don't, and so like immediately it gets passed down the line because they get fear from who their higher ups are and so forth. And I'm not talking about the simple of if somebody makes a mistake and that, and it's intentional and they're doing things that screw things up, then yeah, you might have to hey, this isn't cool, you're gonna keep this up, and we're gonna have to look for someone else. But I'm talking about when they are trying to find ways to make you feel like you're just this horrible person, and blame. And what happens is, so the two things kind of go together, the blaming and then the fear. Put the fear in, make you feel guilty, make you feel like you're not good enough and that, but then also they want to make you feel that you always have to worry. So we got a society of people who are on edge all the time. And then all these crazy things are happening because people are just like pushed to their limits, right? And then, like I said, it's really been amped up. It's not just the movies and that, but it's all over social media. Let's scare these people with this, and this, and this, and that's when it's like, the best thing is, and what I have found, get out to I don't know if it's nature that's your thing or whatever makes you feel more connected, and that, because I believe that, the great divine, our guides and stuff, they don't want you to live in this constant state of fear, and so take a step back. It's not easy. I go through it all the time. So I'm not sitting here saying like I've got it all figured out, but I'm just saying what I'm coming across. And I know that a lot of times what helps me is getting out to nature, getting to a place I love, and meditating, and just getting away from it all the things that, it's like my mom would always tell me, because like I have things that, might come up, an interview with something, and I'll be so worried about it. And my mom will say to me, there's no sense in worrying about it, you can't change it, so why worry, you just deal with it when it comes, just deal with it, and that, but worrying about it is not going to change things. And that's the hardest thing to do, is to not worry, because trust me, I am probably one of the biggest worrywarts. But yeah, so that's basically my video today. I'm just sending out love and healing and loving vibrations, because, it sucks that, it was funny because I was just mentioning today, one of the things that's really sad is it's about kids these days. And, they were saying about some of these kids, and it's like, wow, I can't believe this kid is saying this is so mature or whatever. And I was like, the reason is because they're not growing up in the world we grew up in. Okay? They're kind of like being put on fast track to adulthood, and it's sad because they don't get their childhood. They aren't getting the childhood like people my age have had. You know what I mean? And they're just thrusted into this big ball of, anger and depression and, and all this fear mongering and stuff that's going on. So, yeah, that's basically my thing. And, so I just want to say to you guys that, just hang in there, and sending love, light, and peace to you, and that. And don't worry if there's a lot of people, I saw a video today saying about how not fitting in, Believe me, I have never fit in. And when I was a kid, I used to think, what's wrong with me? Why, other kids don't like me and all that. Why other people don't like me? And as I've gotten older, I've now had to have sympathy in my thoughts, and thought, it's not what's wrong with me, what's wrong with them, right? So that's how I look at it. So it's not you, you know what I mean? If you are a deep thinker, and that, God bless you, as far as I'm concerned. I love deep thinkers. I love the introverts. I love the people that, are the ones that, maybe have so much to say, but sadly nobody's listening. I love you. Send you all peace, love, and light. Okay? Sorry, I'm holding the phone, so it's kind of, but I'm going to try to do that peace symbol. Okay? Oh, and forgot my little light language at the end. Ai remi hatasu noe. All right, goodbye.